Before we begin, if you like what you see, remember to subscribe because it helps you, it helps me, and it's free. Najenda is the leader of Night Raid, responsible for the recruitment of most of its members. She is in constant contact with the Revolutionary Army, relaying all of their orders to her team to execute the grand strategy of the revolution. In the beginning, she was pretty hands-off, never really engaging with her team, never really going on missions with them, but after receiving her new Imperial arm, she went straight to the front lines with her team. Along with what was left of Night Raid, she attacked the capital. But she was leading the Revolutionary Army to distract the capital, while Night Raid did a secret mission to assassinate the Prime Minister. At the end of it all, it's just her and Akame left. Akame leaves the continent and Najenda decides to stay behind to help rebuild the new nation. But what was she doing before all this? We don't know for sure, but it's very likely she was born in the Empire. Because she was not only allowed to join the army, but she was also allowed to rise through its ranks to become a general. And even receive an Imperial arms. Pumpkin! Yes, the pumpkin that Mines uses. Anyway, during her time as a general, she found herself serving alongside Esdeath. And after a particularly vicious campaign, Najenda realised just how corrupt the Empire was. When Esdeath torched an entire village and made the survivors watch just so they'd be angry and they'd start another war. Also, she'd have another war to fight. After witnessing this, Najenda decides at the next possible opportunity she's going to defect to the revolution. And the perfect opportunity just so happened to arise. She was sent on a mission with her entire army to attack a Revolutionary Army base. And on the way there, once she was out of sight of any other Imperial armies, she told her men, all of them, that she's defecting to the rebellion. They all agreed to join her, and that is a stroke of luck, because if they disagreed, things would have gone very badly for Najenda. Once word gets out about her defection, the Empire sends armies after her, and she defeats all of them effortlessly. That wasn't until Esdeath's army arrived. The two armies clashed along with the two generals. Najenda lost both her right eye and right arm, along with 60% of her strength. And that's not like a cosmetic change, that is permanent. She's now 40% strength forever. And her army wasn't doing much better. They were getting destroyed by Esdeath's army. The only reason anyone survived was because the main bulk of the Revolutionary Army arrived, and an exhausted Esdeath and her exhausted army had to retreat so they wouldn't be completely destroyed. Once she fully joined the revolution, she was introduced to Bulat, and he was going to be her bodyguard. And she's going to need a bodyguard, because once news gets out about her defecting, the Empire decides to send assassins after her. They send this guy to begin with. Yes, the same guy who forced Akame and Korome to go through his own version of the Hunger Games. But he was busy that weekend, so he decided to send Akame after Najenda. This was exactly what the revolution wanted, because Akame is responsible for killing so many of them. And Najenda makes sure that she knows this. Once Akame arrives, she starts bragging to her, like, this is exactly what I wanted. We wanted you to come here, away from the safety of the Empire, so we could kill you. And there's a reason that people don't start monologuing before their opponent's weak. It's because if you don't manage to defeat them, or even slow them down, you look stupid. And this is what Najenda found out. Because she was so much weaker, she wasn't fast enough to hit Akame, because Akame was so fast. But Akame also couldn't get to Najenda because Bulat was protecting her, and his armor was way too thick for Akame's sword to pierce. So they were just like fighting for ages. Akame was running around, Najenda was shooting, nothing was really getting done. Eventually, Bulat gets bored, and he decides to talk to Akame. He's like, Akame, I can tell by the way you're swinging that sword, you don't really want to be here, you don't want to fight for the Empire, you don't want to be killing anymore. And she's like, she didn't want to be with the Empire anymore, she was thinking about leaving. She was like, god damn, this guy's right. So they start talking, eventually they convince Akame to join Night Raid, and she does. Also after this battle, Najenda realizes that Pumpkin is wasted on her, so she gives it to Mines. And that brings us up to the events of the anime. We don't see her in episode 1 because she's at the Revolutionary HQ. And when she gets back to Night Raid, she discovers that they've got a new recruit, so she offers him a choice. Join or else. Then she just chills around the Night Raid HQ for a while. A few members die, but they do capture an Imperial arm, so she goes back to the Revolutionary Army HQ to try and get some new recruits and to give them the Imperial arms that they just captured. Once she gets back to the HQ, an Imperial arms named Susanoo starts to reactivate. He's been dormant for hundreds of years, and the only reason he started to reactivate now is because he sensed a presence like his old master's presence. This presence was Najenda, so she's given him as an Imperial arms, and also Chelsea to come back to Night Raid. Once they get back to the Night Raid HQ, they arrive just in time to save them from Dr. Stylish. But they also have to move base, and Susanoo builds the entire new base for them. Now that Najenda's back on the front line, she has to start planning her next move. Najenda decides that Esdeath is the key, so they go after her version of Night Raid, the Jaegers. They know they're not strong enough to defeat all of them together, so they create a plan to split the Jaegers in half. And this plan goes perfectly. 3 of the Jaeger members have to fight all of Night Raid, and at the beginning of fight, Susanoo launches one of them into orbit. Then it's all of Night Raid versus 2 Jaeger members. But Korome is one of them, and she activates her puppets. One of them is a general Najenda used to know. He tried to join the Revolutionary Army, but Korome caught and killed him before he could. The Yone offers to help Najenda fight him, but she tells her to leave because she wants to put this guy out of his misery quickly. And she does! on the second try. Then she uses a trump card on Susanoo so he can defeat one of Korome's puppets. Now, here's the thing about Susanoo's trump card. He takes a portion of his master's life force and then turns that into energy, and you can only do this 3 times, because after the 3rd time, he's taken all your life force and you're dead. After the battle, Night Raid regroup, and they go on a botched mission to the capital. Lub gets killed, Tatsumi gets captured, so now they have to go on a rescue mission. They arrive at the execution square, and Najenda uses a trump card for a 2nd time, so that Susanoo at least stands a chance against Esdeath. Akame goes into the prison to get Tatsumi's Imperial Arms, and when she gives it back to him, he wants to help Susanoo fight Esdeath. But Najenda's the only one to be like, Tatsumi, don't be an idiot, he just got lucky, now run! And she was right, Susanoo was only getting lucky, and Esdeath actually defeats him. But Najenda uses her 3rd and final trump card to revive Susanoo so that he can continue fighting. But she doesn't die and she gets away. She thinks this is because Susanoo used up his own life force to power himself up so that Najenda wouldn't have to die. Once they return to the HQ, she tells the team about the upcoming attack on the capital, and that after this mission, there will be no more Night Raid. She leaves them to their mission so she can lead the Revolutionary Army into battle, entirely to distract the Imperial Army so Night Raid can actually assassinate the Prime Minister. It's in this battle that she realizes Primus Imperator isn't actually a myth and is about to wipe out the entire city. After Tatsumi dies defeating the mech, Esdeath becomes enraged and creates an arena in the center of the capital with Akame and her in it. Najenda tells Akame that Esdeath is the only thing standing in between them and peace, and she needs to annihilate her. After the battle, Najenda meets with the Emperor in prison and tells him that he's going to be executed. At the execution, he tells her to create a peaceful land with no more bloodshed, and she gives him his word that she will. Then she says goodbye to Akame before Akame leaves the continent. Najenda elects to stay behind to help rebuild the new nation. That's the events of the anime, but what happens after the anime? Najenda stays behind to help destroy what little power the Empire has left, and to get rid of almost all of the Empire's remaining members, because some of them deserve a second chance. She lives the rest of her shortened life single, but she does adopt a child. And that's who Najenda is. At first, I didn't really think she was that much of an interesting character, but then I realised, oh my god, she's like 50% of the surviving Night Raid members. Also, she's the leader of Night Raid, and she like used to be in the Empire. She used to be a general in the Empire. Like, there's a lot of history with this character. She's actually really interesting once you get into it. But she's not like one of the most popular characters, but she's still like an interesting one. And that's all I've got for you today. If you like this video, I've got many more videos just like this. I've got a video going over who Wave is, Chelsea is, Akame is, and Esdeath is, and I've got so many more coming in the future. So if you like Akame ga Kill, and you clearly do, because you're watching Akame ga Kill videos in 2024, you should check out those other videos that I've made, and just subscribe so you can see the new videos coming out. Anyways, without any further ado, I really hope you subscribed. Comment down below if there's anything I can improve on. Let me know what you want to see in the future. Like the video, subscribe. Bye!